Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of When Girls Talk Books. I'm Kylie.
I'm Susie.
And today we're doing You Better Watch Out.
You Better Not Cry. I'm just kidding. No, the book
You
is just You Better Watch Out.
Stealing old ladies' money.
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Yeah. So we decided on this book in my living room.
Yes.
Not really
all of our
realizing.
best ideas come from that living room.
On the couch.
Yep.
But I am a huge Impractical Jokers fan.
Yes.
So then I was like, this is by Murr?
When
and that
we
sold
found
it even
that
more.
out, it was... And then also, okay, Murr, you have an incredible mind, but a scary one.
Yeah, I did know that he was an author, but I've never read anything of his.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check my bookshelf. So I'm like, what? Do we have something else?
Yeah, I wonder what else he writes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
But it was
mystery.
good. I liked it. And there's another name on there.
Yes.
What's the other author?
It was also written by Darren...
Weirmouth.
Thank you. Oh no, now I gotta replace this. I'm sorry, Connor.
Nope, that was perfect.
Okay.
Just like you. Okay, should we start with star rating?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Going out with a bang. I gave it 5. It fucked me up
You
in all
gave
the best
5 stars?
ways. Yep.
Nice.
Because I had no idea what the hell was happening even till the end, and I was like,
I couldn't tell you never text me back. Me over there spiraling to crickets.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, I gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
Because I'm not in this, but I had a hard time connecting in the beginning. And then let me rephrase that. The first chapter, I was like, okay. And then just like kind of in that little, where you're still not really sure what's going on, I kind of had a hard time there of like, let's get on with the program.
Cool, the rooms are fake. Anyway.
Yeah, so that was the reason for my 4. But I did still really like it. I love the ending.
It was great.
We're gonna spoil it, so
yeah.
But it's a whirlwind. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's get down to business.
To defeat. All right.
Dun, dun.
We're ending this year
I'm
with
tired.
the utmost organization. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Okay, so we start off pulling into Old Forge, which is a quaint, snowy New York town. It's just like straight out of a Hallmark movie. And our main character, Eddie Parker, drives through it on his way back from his family member's house. So he always stops there. He loves it. It's a very wealthy town, but it just has a nice little feel to it. And Eddie is, as we say, a hot mess express.
He's a character.
He's broke. He's maxed out all his credit cards. He's behind on his rent, but they're not going to kick him out. But they're not going to kick him out because New York landlords are kind of screwed that way. And he's kind of starting to try to change. And he wants to get a real job.
Better.
Yeah.
For being a crook, he wants to be better.
Yeah. Yep. So that's our main character, as you can imagine. All the good things. And so he's driving from his brother's cabin when he stops at a grocery store. And he is basically like, this is going to be the last time.
He's going to get his last fix, huh?
Yeah. At first I was like, what, are you going to rob the place? Like, what are we doing here? But so he goes into the store and he follows in this elderly couple.
I got so mad. I was like, you piece of shit.
He's going to steal from. And the store is very outdated. It's very small. And while he's there...
I pictured the Barton store by our...
Yeah, fair. While he's there, the sheriff comes in and there's a mention of like, oh, good job. No crimes this year. Or no murders this year. Whatever it may be, like...
For the, 11th year or whatever.
Yeah.
A billion years in a row.
Yeah, so the elderly couple is obviously locals talking with the sheriff. And then Eddie comes up behind them as they're paying, and he notices that the lady has $1,000 in cash in her purse. And he says, booyah.
He's like, there was a sign from the Lord.
Yeah. And then as they're checking out, the lady asks if he could help.
Could you help us, honey?
Yeah, because it's just too heavy. And he's like,
Yeah, okay.
Cha-ching, dollar signs.
I'd be more than happy to assist you, ma'am.
And what's so funny is that they insist that he's like a gentleman, and that's hard to find nowadays. And so he's helping them carry the bags to the minivan, and he puts them in the back, and then he's like going around to the side to grab the money out of her purse. And then he suddenly feels...
They stick him!
Basically. He feels a sharp pain, and he turns around, and he sees the old man who they pretended was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, the little frail old man all of a sudden jumps up.
Is tall, and he's holding a syringe.
Fit as a fiddle.
And the woman also, like, kind of... They're very calm demeanor, and he... faints, pass out.
Night-night.
Night-night. He tries to crawl away, but he kind of collapses into the snow. And then the couple's just like watching him.
About to get away with it again. I would be so freaked out.
This first chapter, I was like, okay, all right.
Okay, we're going there. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely like fast start of the book, which was good. I need that because I'm like,
same.
And then
we all know how I feel
the
about
build-up.
Long, detailed introductions.
Yeah. So that was pretty nice. So then we wake up to Eddie, and his body's aching, his head is pounding, he's cold, and he then starts to kind of piece together about the grocery store and the old couple, and he's like, what the heck?
Where am I? What year is it?
Yeah, he does realize that he's no longer in that town anymore. The streets look very historic, like the cobblestone path, and then the street lights, there's a bunch of snow. And the buildings look like they're from a different time. So it's definitely like set in the past.
The Wild West.
That's what I kept picturing was like the Wild West type situation.
It's too snowy, but a tumbleweed rules. But...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there is nobody around. The town is completely empty. There's no people. There's no cars.
Look, usually that's my kind of good time. But that would freak me out.
Not after you get drugged by two elderly people. Also, his wallet and his phone are gone, and he is just having a rough day for somebody. He does see a saloon, and so he decides to go in there, and again, the bar is completely empty, but he does have a thought of, like, surely there's going to be some bar flies around here, like, if nobody else is. But the bar is completely empty. There are like half-finished drinks on the table. There's a kerosene lamp that's lit.
It's even like a stocked bar.
Yeah.
Stuff everywhere. Old record. That was
the record player.
And it was playing a song, so
Silent
he knew
Night.
that like somebody had been there.
Yeah. But also inside, it is also very vintage looking, like from the
he
past.
Went back in time.
Yeah. He does inspect the bar, and the fridge is empty and it's off. There's dusty glasses. The rotary phone is next to the cash register, which...
Oh, now you know you're like, what in tarnation?
Yeah, he does. He feels very, like, unsettled by it. Reasonably so, because everything's just fake.
Yep.
Which is interesting. I always thought, like, this is like an escape room. Like, that's what that would feel like. Like, you're stuck in an escape room.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen that movie, but that movie is pretty crazy.
No, I haven't.
Anyway, suddenly there's, like, a scream that's coming from the back room, and he has this moment of, like, do I leave? Do I not? Do I go investigate? What do I do here?
I am feeling conflicted.
Yeah. Which side are you on?
I'm going to just be honest. I'd probably be a little bit of a coward and hide in a cabinet or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I am not going to go guns ablaze and like, what's that sound? I'm in charge.
Yeah.
No, I would be a little, I'd be a bit of a coward. I'd be hiding out, last one standing kind of shit.
Yeah, fair. Hiding in a cupboard is a good idea. Yeah. I would think that's a trap.
Yeah.
That's a trap. I'm not going in there. Sorry. But he does decide that he chooses to help.
He's a man, so he's gonna go investigate.
Big guns. And he's like preparing for some sort of confrontation. And so he kicks open the door. Like you do. And
Weird.
He like bursts in with the knife, and there is a kerosene lamp that's on the freezer. It's very dark in there. There's not a whole lot of light, but he can get the light basically from the other area. And then on the floor is this lady. She's unconscious. There's like blood in her ponytail. And then there's also another woman that appears, and this we come to find out is Trinity, who
had mixed feelings.
is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say it.
Yep.
I felt kind of annoyed by her. But she's kind of panicking when she sees him, and she's like grabbing a beer bottle as a weapon and is screaming at him. And then Eddie's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wasn't me.
And he tells her that he just woke up as well, and he heard her scream, so he came in to see what's going on. She doesn't really buy it. She's very cautious of him, scared. Reasonably so. It's a man with a knife.
Yep.
And Eddie is like, look at me. Do I look like I'm a threat to you right now? My clothes are soaked. I'm cold.
That is
like
so something that Justin and Eric would do in that situation. Like, do you really think I'm gonna be?
Yeah, for real. And she does kind of slowly start to be like,
well, all right.
Okay. And then Trinity asks Eddie, like, were you kidnapped too? And he's like, yeah, these old people stuck me, and now I'm here, and you're yelling at me.
Meemaw freaking got me.
And then Trinity remembers that somebody broke into her bedroom and essentially like put chemical cloth over her face.
Not the chloroform.
Yeah. And then, but it was a different attacker. So they're not the same people. And then they realize that like, okay, something is going on here. We were both taken and put into this place. What is going on?
Mm-hmm. What did you do? Who do you know?
Yeah. What did you think was going on?
I had a few different ideas.
Yeah.
So when there's like people that they're fighting in this, I'm like, oh, some sick fuck did like a Saw Let's Play a game.
Yeah.
I immediately thought like, oh, they're being contained and watched for sure. Like, is he going to make them partner up, or is he going to make them kill each other?
Yeah.
And then is it a he? It usually is a man.
I've seen
sick,
Saw.
Twisted things.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's just me. I've
Let's
seen
play
Saw.
a game.
Yeah.
So I just kept kind of waiting for that. And I thought, this is going to get so much darker than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really know what I expected going into it. Because I remember us deciding on it, and then I don't think I looked much more into it.
Same.
I was just like, cool, great.
Yep.
So, but I always go back to, like, it's like people who paid a lot of money to, like, hunt these people down. That's usually what my go-to is for this kind of stuff. They do end up checking on the lady that's on the floor. She's breathing. She has a pulse. They end up, like, searching for water, but the sink doesn't work. There's no supplies for anything anywhere. There's no food. There's no water. There's no first aid kits.
Hell no.
But he does find a beer towel to kind of try and clean up the wound that's on her head.
Poor thing.
Yeah. And then she ends up waking up. Her name is Jessica Kane. And she is very nauseous. But she confirms that she was hiking in the forest before somebody hit her from behind.
Hit him on the head.
And then so we get her point of view also, which is interesting.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. And she kind of comes down to the conclusion of like, you guys are here too, but I can't trust you.
You want to talk about how Trinity was annoying? Jess annoyed me a lot through this book.
Oh, I thought Trinity was way more annoying. Yeah, I was like, finally, someone with some balls. Let's get this shit done. Let's get out of here.
Someone with some sense.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about Jess. Obviously not throughout the whole thing, but
Yep.
Yeah. But so as they're sharing stories, we've kind of come to the conclusion they were taken at different locations, different methods by different people. So
And for different reasons.
and then Eddie is basically like, we need to get out of here before anybody else comes back. Like,
Yep.
point
Facts.
and blank. Again, they end up searching for stuff. There is nothing in this.
I hope you're
town.
hungry for nothing.
Literally. But Eddie does say that when he came in, there was a record player that was playing. So there has to be somebody somewhere that's kind of doing all of this because there was someone there that put it on there within minutes of him.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so they go like back into the bar and he's like, well, I did see a phone. Dude, there's nothing in here.
Yeah, you think the phone's just going to magically be hooked up and 911 will be waiting for you?
Yeah. It doesn't work. There's not even a dial tone.
What? Sorry.
In case you were curious. There is a dollar bill that is on the wall,
Got you $1.
but it's from 2019. So it looks old, but it's from 2019. So not a time machine.
Damn.
Yeah. And then there's also photographs on the wall that show the town that he was taken from, Old Forge, in 1936 to 1937. And
So we
it
got one
looks,
of those freaks that's obsessed with better in old times.
Yeah.
Lucky us. We always know this always ends well.
and one of the photos matches like exactly what's outside. So they've rebuilt the town of Old Forge in 1936 or 1937. So they are in modern day. The town was just rebuilt to look old, which is kind of an interesting little tidbit there. And then they realized that the place was kind of built intentionally for this. So that, like, again, okay, we are in danger. All right. This is a problem. So they do end up finding coats that are smelly and yucky and gross. But
Musty, crusty, dusty.
yeah, that's basically how it's described. And they put them on because, again, it is a necessity. There's a blizzard going on outside. It's freezing cold. And they need to find supplies. So if they're going to survive at all, they got to
Get me a double cheeseburger and get me the fuck out of here.
Okay, what's your survival necessities? Real quick?
Double cheeseburger, a weapon.
What kind?
Well, it depends on where I'm gonna be.
Okay, you're in this town.
Oh,
What are you looking for?
I'm in that town. Then,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like a hunting rifle so I can be far away and be
Fair.
looking at it. Lots of knives. All the knives. And then, I don't know, a way out of there.
That's not a necessity. Well, it is a necessity.
Water, Sandy.
So Susie's out there with her triple bacon cheeseburger and a
Hell
knife.
yeah, buddy.
And
my
knife
hunting
and
rifle.
rifle.
Just been chilling up at a tree stand. Like, come and get me, I dare ya.
Also, Susie, I'm hiding in a cabinet until somebody.
Yeah, I'll cut a hole for the barrel through the cabinet.
Oh gosh, that's
How am
funny.
I gonna have this burger delivered though? Because DoorDash won't know where I am. I'm gonna be like, Old Forge in the late 30s.
But you don't have your phone. Yeah.
Don't bring me into survival situations, folks. There, I warned you.
So if zombie
Nobody
apocalypse
kidnap
happening,
me, okay?
Susie's a liability. We're
Yeah.
not taking her, guys.
It's true.
Just let her
leave
go.
me. Just leave me. It really would be better for everyone.
Steve, listen.
Yep.
We've talked about it.
Yep.
Steve
Yeah,
is Susie's
and he's
dad.
a liability as a diabetic, so honestly, just leave me and him together. Just we'll be fine.
That's fair. Anyway, so they do go out and they see a couple other buildings. Some of them have like lights in them, but for the most part it's dark. There are some buildings that they come to find out are fake, which is interesting. If you're going through that much trouble, at least make the buildings all real, I guess.
Yes. Also, can I be a jackass and ask why did they investigate every square inch of the town? Not that it was a great idea, but why linger?
Yeah, fair.
Run!
Yeah.
That's not smart, but it's what my panicky self might do.
I know, because you also, first of all, you don't know where you're at. You have no supplies.
Yeah.
My thought is to find some. You need to find something.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the middle of the forest, you get out of here. You're not getting out of anywhere. You just keep on going.
True.
That would be my thought.
It's interesting. And just wait till we find out what's in the woods. Scary.
Lots of stuff. But so as they're searching through the town, they do see a man that's like coming towards them, and they describe him as like Walking Dead-esque.
Yep.
Which, that is a whole nother element. Zombies,
Hell nah. I will remove myself before
cut
being given the option to become one.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, and so as the man is coming towards them, Eddie's like, stay back. Eddie is very like, I'm a man, I'll take care of it. But the group also kind of puts him in that position of like leading.
Yeah.
The man does stop, and he like he has a metal pipe, and so they think that he's gonna attack them. Which also I was like, is this like Hunger Games? You just all have to kill each other. But then he falls face first into the snow.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So Jess ends up like running towards the man, despite Eddie saying no. And they kind of argue about it, but then she takes the pipe and searches him for anything. He doesn't have anything on him. And he is just this middle-aged man who has 3 slashes on his torso, which are soaked in blood. The wounds look infected.
Gnarly.
Kind of a bad situation. And then the man is like, we need help. I need help. Help me.
Excuse me. You need to kill me.
I've fallen and I can't get up. They do decide to pick him up, and they take him to a pharmacy.
Yeah, because, everything else is fake in this town, but I'll bet the Walgreens is popping.
So they're dragging him to the pharmacy through the woods. And then the pharmacy door at least opens. So they're like, okay, this is at least a building. And they put him in the chair, but there's still no heat. They're all freezing.
The physician will be right with you. Just wait.
Yeah, the store, again, looks very old-fashioned. Antique bottles. The cash register looks vintage. There's tons of boxes. No medicine.
Lovely.
Who would have thought?
Wow.
This was kind of dumb. I'm like, everything else in this place is fake, but you think the pharmacy's going to be real?
Yep.
Yeah. Jess ends up finding gauze and bandages and alcohol, and so they're like, finally,
we can at least clean this up.
Yeah. Do you think for this, like, what was your thought on why some stuff was real and some stuff wasn't? Like, do you think that was like they wanted them to have the bandages and gauze, but also no food and no water? Like, that felt weird.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I also wondered if maybe whoever was orchestrating this left little goodies for themselves.
Fair.
Yeah,
just in case they needed it.
And if you were hurting someone and wanted to hurt them more, you could injure them and then pour that all over the injury, and then they're even more vulnerable to you.
Fair. The man does regain consciousness, and we find out his name is Greg Fisher. Greg was also annoying to me, if we're going to be honest.
Yes.
But.
Okay, when I was reading this book, as I'm reading, I'm like, Kylie's probably so annoyed with this man. So that is so great that you said that.
Yeah, I was annoyed.
Just wait till you find out who I fan cast this room. You're going to laugh really hard.
So Greg regains consciousness, and he says that he was about to meet some investors when he was attacked by someone near his car.
Some investors? Sorry.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Chumps. And he is very, like, chatty, and so they're all kind of, like, a little bit put off by him. You seem like you're sure talking a lot, because they're all suspicious of each other. But the attacker had black clothing, and they ended up slashing him 3 times, and then they jabbed him with a needle, and he blacked out. Between Eddie and Greg, their stories are kind of similar with the needle blacking out, so they're like, okay. But they're still, why are we here? Who built this place? Why is it specifically us? Because they're all targeted.
Why me? Is what I would be asking.
What are they supposed to be doing here? Like, what do you want? What do you want? Then Jess does notice there's a red blinking light in the corner. So there's a camera here.
We're being watched.
Yes.
Awesome.
And so then they kind of have the illusion of like, oh, somebody's watching us as well. Hunger Games, are they filming it? Is it on the dark web? I just had that thought, but
That is a good one.
Then Eddie does see also the surveillance device that's in the pharmacy, like the dome one.
Oh,
and
no.
He thinks that it's probably the
support friend.
Yeah, the old couple.
Scary.
And then Trinity is like, why are we here? What are we doing? Eddie gets onto the counter. He removes the camera and disables it, or is trying to. But there's no wires. It's battery powered.
Oh, cool.
Powered. So he ends up like smashing it on the floor. And then Greg appears to be getting better pretty drastically, which makes Eddie suspicious of him. And then everyone is kind of in this weird, like, what are we doing here? But I do think a lot of them also at the same time think better in numbers.
Yeah.
Like, and you're also just not going to start killing each other for no reason.
True.
Reasonably so. Jess is the one who actually ends up saying, like, we can't stay here. There's no heat. Again, we don't have any food. We don't have any water. We cannot stay here.
We don't have a plan.
Yeah, the most pressing thing right now is there is no heat and it's freezing outside. But they do agree they need to keep together. They need to find someplace warm and just kind of wait out the night until sunrise. So they step into the town square. There's a ton of fresh snow everywhere. So also this is happening. So any footprints are being covered up because it's snowing. So that's also like this weird eeriness to it. They do pass, the Christmas tree. There's a merry-go-round in this town. They pass the fake storefront that they collapsed in. I think
are creepy, even not in
really?
books. Yeah, it just creeped me out.
Bash loves them, so. They do come on to the town hall. Jess opens the door. There's nothing in there. Eddie is like, we need to keep moving. It's freezing. Keep moving. We cannot be wasting all this time. They do see this faint light, and so they kind of are like, oh, maybe there's something over there. They go. It is a church. Eddie goes ahead. I got
so scared.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, what's in this church?
It's a cult.
Yeah.
How many scenarios can we make up here? And so Eddie goes in, and there are you can hear them. There's two men fighting in there, and then they open, and there's one man that's in a blue tracksuit, and then another one who's like in cargo pants and a sweater. And Jess is like, one of these people could be the person that put us in here. Probably not the man in the blue tracksuit,
but you never know.
Yeah. Eddie kind of tries to intervene. So does Greg with his pipe. And then the man in the black outfit ends up like disappearing. And they're like, we let him go. And then the tracksuit guy's like, he jumped me.
Yep.
It's all very like, okay. And I can just picture they're all just like standing in the doorway like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And so we find out the man in the tracksuit is a guy named Tank.
My name's Tank.
Yeah. And they do kind of see him as a threat immediately, and it's also his demeanor. He's very...
What makes you say that? Could it be the aggressive body language, the running around, the huffing and puffing?
He's I'm a man.
It's like when the little dog is running around.
Literally.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
Literally. Big dog syndrome.
Yep.
And Eddie kind of talks to the group like, we should keep an eye on him. And Tank is kind of confused about what's happening.
Tank was probably the most honest person in this whole group. Even if he was annoying and kind of like a liability, at least you knew what he was thinking.
Mm-hmm. And Tank doesn't really trust them.
I don't know about you motherfuckers. All I know is I woke up in a church and some guy jumped me, okay? Like, that's his personality.
And Eddie does...
I was just minding my business.
Yeah, Eddie does trying to, like, calm him down. He ends up throwing his knife, like, man, relax.
Come in peace.
We were all kidnapped, okay? And the group go through this explanation anytime they meet anybody new, I was here, I was there,
I was kidnapped with chloroform. I was stabbed in the neck.
Yeah.
I was strangled. Okay.
Yeah. And then Tank says that he was attacked while attempting to deal with his buyer. And then, Tank and Greg know each other.
You, right? You look familiar.
Yeah. And then, so Tank kind of calls Greg a fraud and says that Greg just had the wrong investments. Hey, man, like, I never meant to hurt anybody. And they're, like, going at it together. And he's like, Eddie breaks him up.
Like, girls, you're both pretty. Settle down.
And then Jess suggests that the kidnappers might be motivated by, like, revenge or, like, vigilante groups targeting people with questionable past.
What have you done? What have you done?
Yeah. Interesting. And then Tank and kind of agrees, like, oh, maybe that might be what it was. Especially with this guy over here.
That was so great. I loved how much they disliked each other. That was so funny.
Yeah. And then Eddie, Jess, and Trinity are all kind of like, oh, shoot. Like, we've all done something. Mm-hmm. What it is. Mm-hmm. We don't know.
A mystery.
Yeah. Tank does then insist that they need to kind of protect the church because that guy could be coming back to get us. Fair.
Yep.
They do agree because the church is warm.
Yes.
It has a fire.
Yep.
So they end up moving the pews to kind of like put in front of the doors to kind of protect themselves. And then Jess is lifting the last one into place. And so as Eddie and Trinity are working together and Tank and Greg are working together to secure the side one. They're all really worried, but they kind of agree just to stay here for the night. They put more wood on the fire using a Bible, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then Tank hides a dusty green bottle behind his back. And then he then reveals it's a wine, and Jess and Eddie are both like, I wouldn't drink that.
Don't drink it, buddy.
And he doesn't listen, and he drinks it anyway.
And he doesn't just try it.
No, he chugs
it.
And there's an immediate reaction of burn marks and his skin bubbles, and he collapses and he's thrashing around, and then he ends up dying.
In like 12, 15 seconds.
Yeah. And Eddie realizes that the wine was just pure acid. Crazy. Mm-hmm. Like an immediate reaction. You still, like, I guess you wouldn't have time to process that.
Yeah.
But bye, Tank.
It was scary.
Sorry about your luck, pal.
Yeah.
And this just kind of sends everybody into like a what just happened panicking situation. Mm-hmm. And then Eddie is comforting Trinity. Jess just kind of was watching everything, and they're really just trying to process what happened. Greg eventually does end up calling Tank an idiot, and everyone's just kind of upset at him about it. Like, not really the time.
Time and place, bro. Time and place.
And Eddie's like, well, you didn't speak up about anything. Like, you didn't tell him that he shouldn't have done it. And he just kind of, whatever, man. Mm-hmm. Jess then retrieves a blanket to kind of cover him up, be respectful. And Greg objects, saying that the blankets should be saved for the living people.
Okay.
Yeah. And they kind of avoid touching anything else in that church.
For the rest of the night.
To be fair. And then Jess warns that the church might be part of an entire larger setup of like maybe everything in this town.
Correct.
Has consequences. Yeah. And then Trinity is like, what are we going to do? Like, if somebody comes, like, are we going to fight them? She's just kind of like, so what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And
hey, guys.
Yeah. So in the morning, Can you
imagine waking up and being like, oh, fuck, this was real. Like, I am here, and that all wasn't just a terrible dream, and I'm hungry and I'm cold.
Literally. And I'm so pissed off right now. I'm hungry, cold, my back's hurting, laying on
Yeah,
church
that's what-
floor. I'm gonna be
You and I would just be a couple of fucking peaches, man.
no. No, I would not. But the next morning, Eddie kind of says, like, there has to be some way out of this town. We have to be able to get out of here somewhere. And Jess is kind of the one that says the town couldn't exist only to kill Tank. Like, there has to be something here. We're not all here for this one dude.
Yep.
There has to be a
Don't
road
flatter
somewhere.
yourself. Like,
Yeah. And Eddie says, like, the safest route would be past the saloon towards the other side of town, which I think pick a direction, follow it, in my opinion. But
yeah.
But so they do
Again,
decide.
we know we're being watched. Why are we waltzing through this fake town all the time? It's not getting any
literally.
warmer.
But so they do end up going out. They never end up where they haven't seen that other person anywhere else. So you kind of feel like, is that the person who's like trying to hunt all these people down, essentially? Mm-hmm. But they are moving along through the snow, and
but they're not dashing through the snow. Sorry. There's no one-horse open sleigh. Nothing.
So at the end of the road, there is a forest, and they don't see any visual areas that they can escape. So they end up...
Awesome.
Yeah. They end up going, okay, what if we did, like, the town perimeter? What if we went around to see if there's any place to get out?
Okay.
They don't find anything. So then they get very frustrated.
They're like, damn it.
Yeah. And then, they see a frozen leg protruding.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, what the heck? And there's a man who's on his back and he's frozen. And there's a log crushed into his head.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay. So it's just like
another person
escalating. Yeah. So they kind of have a debate about, do you think this man was kidnapped or not? And then they decide to choose a direction into the forest and move away from town. So they're like, okay, this whole
maybe
town
this town
business
is a sketchy place.
Yeah. And then Greg kind of picks a point on where they should go, and they do follow it. Eddie does consider just leaving them, but chooses not to because he doesn't know what's going on. So as they're going through the forest, there is Jess slips and she accidentally cuts her palm. And then we have a flashback to her at the age of 19 at this party in the woods. And there's this man there named Kyle who is he's a predator.
This guy.
And she goes out into the woods for like to breathe. And she notices him out there and she's like,
great.
Crap.
Mm-hmm.
And he is like, where are you going?
Doing everything that a creepy guy does
when
he's trying to take advantage of a girl.
Yeah. And so she ends up like running. Kyle's pursuing her. And then Jess ends up using a rock to...
smashes him in the temple.
Yeah, to get him away from her. And then... So, like, in my brain... So, they kind of have these moments of...
Like, that's where it started for her.
Yeah. Or... Is this your bad deed?
Yeah. Is
this what you've done to get here? Is kind of the thought of it. So, while they are searching, they discover a concrete building with a satellite dish. And they're like,
sketch.
Technology. So they're very suspicious, but... They decide that they should probably check it out, but Greg impulsively just starts going for the door.
Steamrolls the group and is like, I'll just open the door.
Yeah. And Greg triggers a bear trap that's
not
chained
just a regular bear trap.
to a concrete base. And when you pull it, it has like the spikes going the other way too. Crazy. So they do try to pry it open, but it's causing even more pain. So they decide that they need to go back to town to get bolt cutters because they saw
because the hardware store is sure to be stocked with shovels and bolt cutters and flamethrowers and whatever else you could possibly need, I'm sure. Yeah, it's so stocked.
So, regardless of like the risk of it, they're like, we gotta try.
Yeah, true. I mean, does anyone ever have?
Is he gonna bleed out anyway?
Yeah, he's gonna die anyway.
You're also just leaving the bear trap on his leg for him to limp around on.
Discuss this with.
This isn't your partner.
You're not making it out of there with that kind of injury. Like,
no. Yeah. So, but they decide, Eddie, Jess, and Trinity. Also, nobody stayed with him.
Thank you. There is no way I'm just gonna be like, hey, Kylie, just like take some deep breaths, do some box breathing. I'll be right back. Okay, you're a big, strong girl. Like,
you got this.
Yeah, are you kidding me? You can do hard things. Oh my god.
No, thank you. But so they all leave. They go to the hardware store, and it's locked, or like there's a chain on it or something. And they do also notice that they are still on surveillance, but the door's locked. Eddie like kicks it, and then it triggers a swinging axe, and it nearly hits him, but Jess saves Eddie, pushing him aside.
Mm-hmm.
Which
we noticed that.
Yeah.
This was when I started to be like, who is you? Why are you running up to strangers that are dying? Why are you all of a sudden in charge? And why are you What's up?
I want to know why she saved him.
Yep.
Because she saves him a couple times.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Anyway, so they do go inside. They're inspecting all the drawers. They find a few things, nuts and bolts and so on and so forth. Jess uncovers wooden railroad ties, and then Jesse discovers bolt cutters. So if you can get past the trap that's been set for you, maybe you could find something. Is that what we're doing here?
I guess so.
Yeah. But they decide, haha, we got it. So they leave the store, and then we do kind of go back to Greg, who's lying on the floor by himself.
This part really messed me up.
Bear trapped. And he's kind of like forcing himself to stay awake.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But he's very kind of frustrated because everyone just left him. There's nothing he can do about it.
Facts.
And he does think like, oh, maybe I'm here because of all the people that I've scanned in my life.
Yep.
With this financial stuff. And then...
nah, couldn't be that.
He vows for revenge if he survives.
Correct.
Right. So then Greg hears some rustling in the woods.
No.
And he's like, oh, is the group coming?
Oh my god.
But it's heavy stomps and deep breaths. And he's like, oh my gosh, it's going to be cannibals. It's going to be all these things. But a massive grizzly bear shows up.
No.
And is slowly approaching.
I'm so afraid of bears. Oh my god, no.
So he's like, okay, I know if I move, it's going to be a problem.
Yep.
I'm dead.
Yep. I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm alive again.
And the grizzly eventually
Smokey here comes on up and takes a sniff.
Kind of watches him, steps back, and he ends up like disappearing.
Like, can you believe this guy? He thinks I think he's dead. That's so cute.
Okay, buddy.
Sure.
So
here, I'll turn around and go back in the woods for a minute.
Literally. And then the bear leaves, and then it comes back, and it's charging him, and it's clawing him.
It's
and
terrible.
He's screaming. He's alone. He's helpless.
I really can't think of a lot worse things.
Yeah. And then we get the other teammates. They're running through the forest to get back to him. And then because they've left him by himself, so now they're having a thought of
like, this wasn't safe.
Shouldn't have left him. So they do get there, and Greg is somehow still alive, and the grizzly is like growling at them. Eddie and Trinity are just kind of like looking at each other. Jess ends up pelting him with frozen pine cones.
Yeah, little Miss Brave over here.
And the grizzly is feeding on him. So
love that.
Yeah. Eddie is like trying to make himself bigger. He's yelling at the bear.
Susie's in the back of the book is going, no, if it's black, you fight back. If it's brown, lay down. Like, don't. No.
Don't fight back.
Oh, my God.
And Jess does notice that Greg is still alive. And so this is when she starts throwing pine cones. And she ends up getting the bear in the eye. And the bear essentially decides...
Call her. She's just...
Not worth it.
She's the bear whisperer.
Snow White.
Yeah, that's her fucking pet. It's all starting to make sense now.
I didn't think of that. But then Jess, like, runs over to Greg and is, like, trying to help him.
Trying to console the poor guy.
Yeah.
That poor Greg. I know he was a slimy, bad individual, but man, couldn't he have just slipped down a waterfall or something? Why'd he have this?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And he dies with Jess, like, around him. And the rest of the group doesn't actually, like, see him pass away because they come later.
They're too busy puking in the bushes.
Yeah.
Fair. Rightfully so.
Yeah. And then Eddie's like, there's no grizzlies in upstate New York.
Yes. So where are we?
Where are we? I'm like, huh? Which, spoiler, doesn't really get explained.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to hold that comment till the very end. So I'd be like, how the fuck, where the fuck, where the fuck?
No, that never really gets...
They order
explained.
it? Did they... Was this the dark web? Did they ship one in?
Where'd this bear come from?
Yeah.
Is there just one?
Yeah. I got
What are you
questions.
feeding it?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. we solved that one. Detectives are on the case.
So he does think, like, maybe we're in the Northeast, or he does mention Washington. Like, somebody would think maybe we're in Washington.
Damn, who lives in that state? Oh.
And Jess is like, what should we do? Agreed. Jess says, what do we do? And Eddie's like, well, we're already here. We should probably investigate this concrete building that we found. With
We can't let the guy die for no reason.
Yeah. And Trinity is like, I'm not going in there. You're out of your mind. And then Jess is like, do you remember the hardware store where you almost died? And they're kind of like, well, there's got to be something. There's a satellite dish, there's a phone, there's a computer. There's got to be something in there. So Trinity's like, you go first. And he is getting really annoyed with her. And kind of at this point, fair.
Yeah.
But he checks for traps. He's like, I don't think there's anything else in here. And Jess is kind of right behind him. Like, I got you from over here.
Yep. I got
And
your back.
Yeah.
Right over here.
Trinity just continues complaining. But so Eddie has the padlock, the bolt cutter. So he cuts the padlock and he opens it up. And he swings the door open. Nothing comes out. And inside is just like an 8x8 room with cables and a wooden table. And the wall is completely covered in newspaper clippings.
Red flag.
The newspaper clippings have a headline of a 9-year-old boy killed in a hit and run. And more clippings about a manhunt, the funeral, the police investigation. And he discovers security footage of the identified involved in the hit and run. And in a circled red name is Trinity Jackson. So the articles say that the witness had said that she was heavily intoxicated before driving her Jeep.
Whoopsie daisies.
That matched the hit and run. And then the other final headline is local outrage as killer goes free on procedural technicality.
Oh, and she got off on a technicality. Yeah. She must have had a fantastic lawyer.
Yeah. And so Eddie's like, Trinity, you probably want to see this. And she's like, I don't want to see it. And then
he's like, you do.
Yeah. So he tells her, and she is like, it's a sick joke. And Jess notices that Trinity, oh, what did she say? I never saw the kid, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Something that hinted at a child. And she's like,
how'd you know it was
we didn't say anything about a kid.
Yeah.
And Trinity, like, rips all the clippings down, and she is very upset about it. She lashes out. Jess kind of has a moment of, I hope you die.
Yep.
Okay. Like, So Eddie's frustrated with Trinity and Jess because they're bickering. Jess is upset with Trinity. Was that Abernathy?
I guess so.
About the hit and run, and everyone's just pissed. Everyone's just really mad.
Now it's starting to feel like Christmas.
Yeah. Fair.
Everyone's upset and stressed out. Ah, the holidays.
You know, great times. And then they reach the perimeter of the wall. So as they're walking, they reach the perimeter of the wall, and there's like the wall has barbed wire that's electric, first of all. So they're not just going to hop over it.
There's an electric fence all the way around them.
Yeah. And there is a footprint path to the right. So he's like, maybe there's a gate. And they look above and they see an old farmhouse that has smoke coming from the chimney. So
Sketch.
obviously people are there.
Sketch.
And they're like, how are we going to do this? Like, it's an electric fence. We can't just like jump over it.
Yep.
And then there's also a security camera that's monitoring them right there. So then they realize that good old
Ma and Pa.
Grandma and Gramps, George and Dorothy is who we find out.
Mm-hmm.
They appear at the gate. So they come out of the house. They're very calm. They come to the gate. And George introduces themselves. And Jess asks, why are you here? And the couple says that their job is nearly done and that everybody is exactly where they need to be. So they promise to release them at sunrise on Christmas Day if the group survives the night. So that's all they need to do, survive the night. And then George does warn that the temperature will drop to -10 degrees Celsius.
Me and my cupboard man.
And survival depends on finding shelter.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you're frozen in the cabinet.
That's right.
There's no heat in there.
Yep. Perfect.
Just like you like your house.
Yep. A nice crisp -10.
Oh, I was like, what do you keep it at? 58.
Oh, I'm up to 65 nowadays.
In the winter. With your jacket and your blanket.
Yeah.
So
I have a fluffy dog to cuddle with.
Two.
She keeps me, they keep me warm.
And a husband. And so they're kind of like, is this real?
Mm-hmm.
Are you really going to let us out? Also, but the couple just like leaves. It's very ambiguous.
Yeah, they just kind of.
Yeah, but they do decide that shelter is priority. Eddie does think that also we should track the satellite dish wire. Like, where is that going? Where does it go to? And so they decide to do that. They end up finding a hatch. And then underneath that hatch is a stainless steel hatch that locks.
Like a little submarine door.
Yeah. And then they go down. They do find the steel door. They have to... How do they get this up? I don't remember how they get it up. But it's not locked. But it locks from the inside.
That's correct. It like spun open.
Yeah.
So at first they were discussing. They were both like, oh God, I don't want to open it. You open it. And so I don't remember who did, but...
But, so they go down into this hatch bunker thing. And very obviously Eddie has to go first. Then Jess. And then Trinity.
It's heated.
It is heated.
They got some warmth. Finally.
And in the middle of it is a replica of the old forge. Everything about it. Including the Christmas decorations. And Eddie... I just realized...
And I was getting distracted, like, ooh, how many times did it wrapped around this time?
Eddie is the one that's like, well, this is pretty safe down here. There's heat. There's a lock.
And the surveillance system is based down there, so they can watch where all the cameras are filming. They don't know if it's safe or not, but there's food and water. Yeah.
So in the second room, they find the surveillance tech. And they're like, oh, you can see everything. And there's also a monitor that shows entry for the hatch. So they would have seen if anybody was trying to come. There's also files on every single person in there. And not only that, Trinity discovers there's files for every single hunt that's happened since the year of 2010.
Ugh! Icky. No.
So they kind of go through all of the records.
Icky.
And they decide, and in their records, it's like years long of activity. So not just,
So they've been watching me for a long
years.
time. Like,
Yeah.
Can you imagine how bored someone would be watching us?
Mm.
Looking for something.
I go to work. I go home.
All I see are two places, sir. They go to work and they go home.
Literally. So they go to like the earliest ones, and they're all very like simple ways that they've died. And then as it progresses, it gets
scary,
more and more sadistic. And it's kind of all been documented. There is one other person they discover that is in their area. They're listed under the people in their group, and that's Damien Hirst, who is a notorious serial assaulter.
Oh, yeah.
And he's thought to have been on the run, but they kind of thought that maybe he had died. So they're like, that's got to be the guy that was in the church.
Tree stump boy, right?
Yeah. Tree stump.
Yeah, the one that got their face smashed in by the woods when they're first walking.
Yeah, so they see him on the way out, and they think that's him. But they also thought maybe that was the guy in the church.
Oh, that ran away, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's very, okay, like, this is a much larger
I'm
thing.
in danger.
Yeah. Which also, you're in a replica town. Yes, you are in danger.
Anytime I see model stuff like that done to that extremist, I'm like, I'm uncomfortable.
This feels
Don't
icky.
know why, but I just get a little scared of them. I'm like, you're making me really scared.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Sorry to model train people. I'm sure you have a very complicated hobby. There you go.
Just like us with our books.
Yeah. I don't know. Reading about all this stuff is kind of scary. What?
So also they find the electrical panel, and there's something labeled access tunnel. So they're like, aha! An escape! So they decide to, and that was built in 2017. So they also discover that they've been building onto the town as time goes on. So they end up.
There's no file on the bear. You know? There's files on everybody else, and even that tunnel, but not the bear. The bear gets no recognition.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
I don't know, Susie. I don't have the answers for you. I'm sorry. But so they go to where the hidden tunnel is, which is beneath the newsstand. Tunnel. And so they are opening up the wheeled lock. It's very cold outside. Like, the temperature just keeps dropping.
I would not want to go back outside. Are you kidding me? I'm already right here. I just got to make it till morning. No, we're staying the fuck in the bunker.
Agreed. Agreed. 100%.
And if you want to go, but I'm not letting you back in.
Bye.
Over it.
See ya. Yeah. Susie and I are down in that bunker. We're waiting till morning.
No.
If it doesn't work out then, we'll go to plan B. But it's going to be negative 10 degrees Celsius outside. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is Fahrenheit. It's going to be cold as fuck. Mm-hmm. We're staying down there.
Yep.
Look, I can survive 2 days without food. I'm also not trusting any of this food or water.
Yep. Facts.
Yeah. And you're not either. I'll pull it out of your mouth.
Drop it! Drop it! Like a doll. Drop it now. Drop it, or I'll take your TikTok away forever. Okay.
Oh, so funny.
It's 14 degrees Fahrenheit.
14 degrees Fahrenheit.
Trevor me timbers.
I'm not leaving a heated place. You've never seen me so angry. Also, if you get kidnapped in your day-to-day life, I'm wearing flats. So, I'm actually probably already dead.
Oh my god.
No, thank you. Okay. We're at the escape tunnel. Yep. Trinity's like, I'll go first.
This fucking girl. I ain't volunteering for shit in this kind of situation.
We're in the bunker.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And
everything's a trap and nothing is trustworthy in this psycho world. But this access tunnel for sure won't be a trap at all. No.
So as she's going down, there's a laser sensor.
Freaking laser beams.
On her freaking forehead. And then a secondary grate closes on top and it severs all her fingers. Yucky. Minus her thumbs. I got 2 thumbs.
I killed a man with this thumb.
With 2 thumbs. And she falls into the shaft. She hits her head. She lands in a pool of water. She's kind of...
She's cooked.
Sorry, Sally.
You're shit out of luck, kid.
R.I.P., my friend.
Your friend. She annoyed us.
That's true. She was really annoying.
But
And
she
then
is
she
a
goes,
person, okay?
She goes, I'll go first.
Yeah. You know who should have been fucking first is Jess. I can't help but notice she's never the first one to volunteer to go first for something. Isn't that interesting?
But she went with Eddie to open the concrete bunker.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. She saved his life. Anyway, so then, of course, because we're not just in a normal area where she can just bleed out and die, there's industrial fans that come out from the walls and have spray nozzles also that are just drowning this girl with water. Bless her heart. Poor her. And then the industrial fans.
Worse. Comes on when the water turns off.
Oh.
And then they alternate.
And then she's just...
So she's already
freezing.
So she's already bleeding out.
Well,
with a head injury.
Well, they're frozen, so probably not
I guess
anymore.
It would stop bleeding.
Yeah, with the head injury. But yeah, the water, the fan, she's essentially just freezing in place.
And they're up above because the grate is shut, just watching it.
Yeah. And then there's some sort of thermometer.
Yes.
That shows like what the degree is. And she just freezes to death.
That is so horrific.
Crazy. And they're just watching this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Nothing. So then they are like, okay, this didn't work. Where are we going? Back to the bunker.
Yeah.
You should have never left anyway. Anyway.
What a crazy idea.
So annoying. And so they go back to the bunker and
back to the chopper.
Eddie is kind of like, he's having a hard time with this death.
I understand, buddy.
So Jess is trying to comfort him. And then we get this other point of view of somebody who's watching them and hunting them and how stupid they are.
This was weird.
This was really weird. And how he's, I don't know if we know gender, but I assumed he, is there's only one of us who can make it out of here and I'm gonna get it. And then he's also like very sexually violent.
Yes.
Where like things arouse him, which I hate that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Icky.
Sexual sadists really scare me.
Same.
They really scare me.
So we get like his point of view and then it's just he finds them like their camaraderie like sickening and
this book can
icky.
Really get under your skin. Like it was written so well that you're like, oh god.
Yeah. So they back to Jess and Eddie, they're kind of discussing like what they should do. And they decide just to barricade themselves in the bunker until morning.
Huh. What a crazy good idea. If only.
Yeah. And then Jess, they kind of have this moment of like, when I first saw you, I would have thought you'd be one of the people to make it. And he says, you too. So they kind of have this camaraderie that's kind of becoming more and more, which Eddie even says there's something that happens when you're in a flight or fight situation.
Oh, yeah, their trauma bond is forming. How nice.
They like sit down and they're kind of reflecting on everything. And then they're both starving. And so Jess and Eddie kind of debate whether they should risk the food that's in the fridge or not. And they also are kind of like, I mean, this is set up for somebody who would be watching us. So surely they wouldn't poison their own food. And Jess is kind of the one who does end up trying it and determines that it's safe. We'll get to that.
Yep.
So then Eddie then kind of shares his criminal past with Jess about robberies and theft and things like that. He is really trying to be better, but he did try to steal money from the old people. So
Yeah, so how hard you trying here? You know, it'd be, I only like 5 girls' pictures on Insta, okay? God. You'd be like, okay, but you're still not doing the right thing. Well,
we got some traumas coming out here. So then Jess also reveals that she has a lifelong addiction problem. But at this point, it's just become a part of her, and it's not something that she's trying to beat anymore. It just is. She is who she is. And they feel very much like, thank you for sharing that. And then...
And Eddie didn't think to be like, what could it be that you're addicted to? He's just like, oh man, happens to everybody.
Drugs, man. Yeah. But they each have like something, like they're not all the same. Which, who is it? Tank has an addiction problem.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
He was dealer. We don't know if
He was meeting with his dealer.
Oh, yeah. Then yeah, he definitely was.
Yeah. He found wine and immediately started chugging it.
Yeah. True.
He's got some problems. But anyway, so then we get a flashback to Eddie, and he says that he wasn't entirely truthful about what he's done. So long and short of it, Eddie and his silly friends end up breaking into Dr. Frank's house because he's on vacation. And they are looking for stuff, and then they encounter Dr. Frank in his wheelchair. And he is just, and his friend is very aggressive. And the doctor is like, leave me alone. Like, you can just go, like, leave. But he recognizes Eddie, and he says, at least will look me in the eye, or something like that.
Brutal.
Sad.
So sad.
And then in all, like, the chaos, Eddie accidentally tips his wheelchair, and the doctor falls, and he fatally hits his head.
That's so messed up.
And so it's like an unintended death, but it's
on his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually what his biggest
what his
crime
big sin is.
Yeah. So we do see the man, kind of the unknown predator who thinks of himself as a predator, going through the woods and stuff, and it's freezing cold. He was very fascinated with killing animals as a young person, and then
red flag number 1.
That transferred to hunting down humans, because he says that animals were merely just training.
Yep.
And he's an apex predator. What? He does spot the security camera armed at the bunker door, and so he doesn't want to disable it because he doesn't want any alarms going off. He kind of circles back and is like, what am I going to do? And he decides that he's going to kill Eddie first, and then he's going to savor Jess's death more slowly. Yeah. Yuck. So then he's like, I'm going to get into the bunker, but he's like wanting to go a back way. I didn't really understand this, but...
Me neither. I was kind of like, yeah, I get it. Anyway.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden there's 2 taser barbs that shoot out at his chest as he's trying to like get in to another trap. And he collapses, and then a dark figure emerges and places a noose around his neck and like yanks him through town. And he blacks out.
Yep.
He wakes up and he's on the ground. He's freezing. He's kind of confused. He's also like, how dare you to me, a man, the apex predator. And then he tries to stand, but the noose constricts. And then the figure smashes his hand with an axe handle. And he's like begging for mercy.
He's like, I'm one of you. You don't understand.
Yeah. And then he blacks out after there's a blow to his temple. So then he wakes up again, and he's on the main street. There's holiday lights, the Santa decorations, all of the everything. And then the dark figure is like dragging him through the snow. And he fantasizes like, I'm going to get you now. Like after this.
You're now my next
done.
victim.
Yeah. But he wakes up and he is chained to the outer pole on the merry-go-round. This part was crazy.
This part was so, like, I set the book down and literally just like,
I don't
For a
like
minute.
this. Yeah. And so his legs are chained together. His wrists are like handcuffed behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
And he feels like, he's got some broken bones. He's obviously not in a great state. And then the dark figure starts the ride and then jumps off. And I picture him just...
Yeah, I figured this thing had a turbo on it. It was going like 35.
Yeah. And then the figure like leaves. And he's like, okay, they
cool.
just left me here to be humiliated.
Yep.
And I'm going to freeze to death. And then Jess and Eddie are going to see me. How embarrassing.
Yep.
But
this was weird to read.
Yeah, but he does
weird.
believe that if Jess and Eddie found him, they would try and save him, but then he would kill them in return.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. But he hears a mechanical buzz. Bzzz,
Yep.
And something's rising from the ground. And
11 roses!
He's like, I don't know what to do. And so then that's all we know from him at the moment. So then
pan back to the bunker.
Pan back to the love bunker. Eddie is kind of very tired. And so he does fall asleep. And then
he's feeling very sleepy after eating that stuff?
Well, because he hasn't eaten in 2 days.
Oh.
He's food coma.
Yeah.
So then Jess ends up like waking him up and insisting that he needs to see something. So they go over to the control room and there's a man strapped on the merry-go-round.
Can you imagine waking up from a nap in this already hellhole and then see that? And you're like,
What else?
yeah.
What else? And what is rising from the ground they see is a sharp metal blade that is just inches towards the man's feet.
I was picturing like a hacksaw or something. Yeah.
Jess just kind of is like urging him, like, we need to save this guy.
We don't even know who it is, my brother. Like,
and since we just had the flashback of the doctor who died by his hands,
he's feeling morally obligated
to go save him. So,
you know what, Jess, Wonder Woman, you go. Get it, girl. You seem to be wanting to be in charge of all this and have the big convictions. So, like, you go.
Jess ends up handing Eddie a carving knife she found from the kitchen.
How convenient.
Right. So they rush out to the merry-go-round. Jess is pretty confident moving around. Eddie is still kind of struggling. But the coldness helps him shake it off.
Okay. I thought she drugged him the whole time. And that's why he woke up feeling funny and he wasn't performing well.
I think she did.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
She probably knew when she was drugged and when she was not.
Yeah, welcome, Sue. Good job.
Anyway.
Detective is on the case.
Don't worry, Sherlock. I got you.
Wait a minute.
Wait, just one moment. So they end up arriving to the merry-go-round. The man is going. And the blade is getting like closer and closer to the man's feet. Long story short here, they try several things to get him off of the merry-go-round.
Mm-hmm.
There's a he's padlocked to it. Where's your bolt cutters?
Yeah.
Anyway, but they kind of realize that they're not going to be able to get him off. And so Eddie shouts to Jess, like, try and break the blade then, because we're not getting this guy off. And it's just getting closer and closer to his feet. It's very...
This was so stressful to read.
Yeah.
I was flipping those pages so fast. Like,
yeah. And even though this guy's like the worst.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did kind of I had that in the beginning of like, and then once it was like his heels started going, I'm like, well,
good riddance.
He was awful anyway.
Yep.
Eddie does try and like
the
lift
Lord
him.
works in mysterious ways.
He does try and lift him, but it doesn't work. So the blade does slice through his feet and his legs. Mm-hmm. And I think they describe it as like lunch meat.
Yeah.
Which was gross.
They did.
And there's just blood everywhere. Eddie ends up going to the center pool, finds a hatch, and then it there's like a lever.
He had sent Jess, to be looking for this button or some shit. That she was supposed
there's
to
got to be some sort of lever.
Find it,
and so she went
goes over there.
And he goes to the center of the merry-go-round because he's on the merry-go-round. Jess is over here, and he ends up finding the lever that stops it. But
pull the lever, Gronk.
Wrong lever. But she missed the man dying. So she was like, I'm too late. I was too late. Mm-hmm. And they're both just like, what so in the world?
So distraught.
They're very traumatized. Eddie feels kind of numb to the whole thing. And Jess is shaken, but she's really trying to comfort him. Mm-hmm. And then Jess is like, I know this man. This man is Damien Hirst. So the man they found frozen
was not
him, and he was all out. They're like, do we know how many people are actually in here then? Because if that's him, who is the Yahoo over here?
Who's the hashling and slasher that did this?
Yeah. And then Eddie and Jess kind of start to discuss, like, what is the couple's role in this? Mm-hmm. And setting up the traps and manipulating the victims.
Yeah, what is going on here?
Yeah. And then they're like, we got to be proactive about this. Okay. So they decide to take the railroad tie from the hardware store to ram the electric fence so they can get out.
Right.
Okay. So they go back to the hardware store. They grabbed it. I'm imagining this like a big pole thing.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
They're squares. Yeah, they're huge. Too.
Yeah. And then so they both grab an end, and just before exiting, Eddie hears a click under his...
I was so upset.
Foot.
I was so fucking upset when I got to this point. Like, this motherfucker's gonna survive all this shit, but this?
Yeah.
You weren't watching where your fucking feet were going! As if I could do any better.
While carrying a 500 pole.
Still! God.
And he freezes. And he's like, I definitely just stepped on a pressure plate. Because it's another trap.
And she's like, huh? What? There's like traps out here?
Yeah. So then Jess ends up, there's a big cable that's connected to a propane tank. So it's going to blow them up. And so they're like, okay, what are we going to do here? Eddie's dad, just a side note, died by fire.
Which was kind of poetically messed up.
Yeah.
Like,
so really Jess finds a wheeled table saw nearby. And so she positions her side of it on there to redistribute the weight. And then he's like, you got to get out of here. And she's like, no, I'm not going to leave you. He's like, there's nothing we can do if I step off of this. Like, we're both going to be dead. So Jess proposes that she tackles Eddie at full force to send him away far enough from the explosion that he would be safe.
Yep.
And they do. So they end up like crashing outside. They're scorched. Eddie has some damage to like his legs, but they're alive. And she kisses him.
It's now romantic.
So then after the fire...
they're laying there in the snow. Christmas morning, first light.
And Eddie is hopeful for change. And they watch the store burn.
Yep. As one does.
And then they decide that it's probably time to head back to the gate because the sun is rising.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Claus should be done with.
So they go back, and sure enough, the sun is starting to rise.
Birds are chirping.
And they get to the gate, and George and Dorothy are waiting on the other side. And George and Dorothy are very calm. They're not very hostile. They acknowledge them. Merry Christmas.
Which is almost worse and crazier when they're like methodically calm too.
Yeah. And Eddie asked, like, are you going to let us out then? Like you said you would. Christmas Day. Here we are.
I swear to God, old lady, the night that I've had.
Don't play games with me. Open this gate right now. Yeah. And they kind of talk about, do you know why you were here and all this stuff. And he admits that he has been morally compromised and he's been very selfish about things, but he recognizes that he needs to make changes and he's trying and so on and so forth. And they say, okay, you can leave, Eddie. And
scary. Can you imagine that? Just being like, that's it? I'm off the hook. I can just walk out of here?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he's like, no, we're leaving. Jess and I are both leaving. And George says, unfortunately, she has something that can't be cured. And he's like, addiction's not a not something that's a fix all. Like, it's a disease. It's not just something that she can change. And she says, oh, I'm actually a serial killer.
By the way.
And he's like, huh?
Sorry? Say again!
She says, so sorry. And she stabs him.
Just like that.
And his legs buckle and he falls and he's like,
are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you shitting me right now?
This did send me for a whirlwind. I did not expect this, actually.
No, I was distraught.
Yeah.
You know what Eric decided was a great idea? When I'm getting to this point in the book, he's always really great, so I was really confused by that character flaw. He decides to come over and start, like, bugging me like it was funny. And like, oh, and how many pages got left and all this shit, and looking around, I finally snapped. I'm like, do I ever fucking do this to you? And there's 4 seconds left in the 4th quarter and your stupid fantasy team is on the line. And he's like, whoa.
Leave me be.
Yeah. He then left me alone.
Fair. So then Jess kind of explains to Eddie that the hunt and the replicated town of Old Forge served as a controlled environment for her urges, keeping her contained and away from society.
Oh, how nice. So it's an enrichment activity. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Got it. This is your sandbox you got here?
Okay, cool. Where's your Zen garden? Is that over there with your pet bear?
Literally. And she does acknowledge that her parents made this prison for her.
Custom built.
To keep her away. And so, despite her remorse, she can't help it.
Yeah, she's very remorseful.
So she might as well do it in a contained environment. And
Right.
Eddie's bleeding out on the floor.
And he's just like, uh-huh. No, fair enough. I get it. Yeah, sorry. No, I get
it. So he does become obviously he's dying. And she's like, oh, such a crazy moment. She has very conflicting feelings about it, but it seems very psychotic. And so then Jess steps over Eddie's body and she pushes the gate open and she's talking to her parents. Merry Christmas.
They have their annual hug.
Yep.
And they're like, we'll see you next year.
Very weird. Jess kind of, is at peace also with, she does need to be away from society because this is how she is. So then after being stabbed by Jess, Eddie has a moment of adrenaline.
Yep.
Despite his internal injuries of bleeding out.
Yep.
So he forces himself to stand and he runs through the gates.
You know what? Good on him. I love that he was like, I'm not just going to lay here and die.
He does past the farmhouse, all the supplies, and he sees all the cars. There's a ton of cars on that property, including his own.
That would be so crazy.
He's like, I don't have time to mess with this. Like, I need to find
I can't hotwire a car.
Yeah. So he runs out to the road. He does find an approaching vehicle. He flags it down. It is a police officer. Eddie explains, like, he was kidnapped.
You gotta help me.
Crazy replica town. They use it for hunting. He's like, I need help.
Rattling off, like, sounding like a complete crazy person.
Yeah. And the officer's like, the Canes? The Canes house down there?
Like, son, you must be mistaken.
You must have it wrong. They're just a nice little family. So the officer turns out to be Sheriff Briggs in the beginning of the book, which I didn't put that together till later when I was doing show notes. But he is like, nah, we gotta go talk to him about it. Let's turn this thing around.
When I saw that, I went, dude, no.
Takes him back to the house where old Mom and Pa are standing on the porch.
Yep.
And so the officer comes out to talk to Dorothy and George, and then he pulls Eddie from the car.
Yep.
Pulls a gun out on him and is essentially just like, look. And Jess is just like, has the knife in her hand, waiting at the gates for him. She said, I'm really sorry about this. I'll give you an hour head start. Crazy!
Yeah.
And so he just limps off into the forest.
For another night of fun.
either she starts singing or there's music playing saying, you better watch out.
You better watch out. You better not cry. Oh my God.
So then we have the epilogue is in January of that year. There is a new detective, and she essentially tells an FBI agent,
Like,
I believe, hey, we have this town that's had no crimes for however many years, but I think it's like 8 people go missing every year. Year round around Christmas, people disappear every year. Over 14 years, 100 different people have disappeared from this town.
Yep.
And they're like, huh, suspicious. So then they're going to like launch an investigation about it. I wonder if there's a part, book 2.
I hope so.
I should look into that. But yeah, everybody dies.
Yeah.
Jess is a crazy person.
Yeah. Doom and gloom. Scary. Adrenaline spiking. So yeah, just like the holidays. It's like perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
it'll really
adrenaline.
help you feel at home if you need a nice break from the hustle and bustle and the stress of this time of the year.
For real. Crazy. Crazy. I didn't expect it. Like, obviously hindsight is 2020.
Yeah,
so
we knew
as I'm
something was
telling
going
it,
on.
my demeanor is obviously going to indicate that Jess is off.
Yep.
But while I was reading it,
Literally like until like here,
yeah,
I was just like, why is she such a controlling bitch?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to like, why are you so confident other than like maybe she had survived it before? I really didn't think she
Oh, I thought she's going to get out of here. Like she has that It's fine. That sort of mentality of like, okay, we need, because I think I would kind of be, hey,
Yes.
you can call me a controlling bitch if you want, but I'm getting out of here. How am I going to do it? So I think I would have that kind of mentality.
Yep.
So
I could see that.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
I was like, okay. And then,
Look here.
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse me? She did what?
With who? Where? Crazy. So that's what my spiraling was in the group chat that nobody replied to. You did reply, Connor.
I left her hanging.
Yeah.
Let's do. At least I'm consistent.
It's okay. I leave you hanging for days. Yeah, it's fair. Okay, fan cast.
Fancast. What's Fancast?
What's fan cast?
Well, if Fancast, so if we were going to make this a mini series or a movie, what famous person would we cast as the characters?
Yeah.
How many did we do today?
I did Eddie, Jess, Dorothy, George, and Trinity.
I didn't do Dorothy and George. Only
Okay.
2 I didn't.
What did
But
you
I
do?
basically did everybody else.
Let's start with Eddie.
Okay. I did Theo James. My boy.
Leave me trapped.
Yeah. Right? Aren't you gonna cuff me? Blind me with pepper spray.
Put me in a choco. So funny. I did Taron Egerton.
Oh. That's the first
No.
time I ever haven't been super into something, so I'm sorry.
No.
Maybe set it up for me.
There is a Apple TV show called Blackbird.
Okay. I will go ahead and get on that then.
Crazy. Anyway, I also feel like he's a really complex actor where he could kind of play anything.
Oh,
so like
those are
this kind of
fantastic.
loser dude who's like stealing from people. Like I feel like he could capture that. Also, he's
Fabulous.
nice to look at, so I wouldn't be too mad
So, I
about
mean,
that.
There we go. Excellent. Excellent.
Jess.
Jess, Aubrey Plaza.
Oh yeah.
She plays a great psychopath.
I love that. I love.
Me too.
Big fan of that. That was probably a really wonderful place. I did Carrie Mulligan. So she is, she's from The Great Gatsby, but she's also from Pretty Young Woman. Let me see. Sorry. Which, if you haven't watched, you need to watch. Open. Promising Young Woman.
Yes.
You've seen it?
Mhm.
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
so I was
so
like,
good.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. She could play this naive
Yep.
girl, but like strong. And then the scene where she goes to the house with her nurse's outfit, I'm like, kill them all.
Yep. Finish them.
Burn it. burn
Let's
it.
light this candle, huh?
So that was my Jess. Who else do you have?
Trinity. I did Alexandra Daddario.
I did Kieran Shipka.
'Kay.
I wasn't tied to it though.
Okay.
I was just gonna,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else do you have?
Greg.
Who's
I
that?
did Krieg Bratton
Creed.
from The Office.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. I was like, I know the name.
Yeah,
Creed.
you're like, I know that.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Did you do Tank?
Yeah, I did Noel Fisher from Shameless.
Noel Fisher.
Yeah, here, I'll show you.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Did you do anybody else?
No.
Okay, so Dorothy Kane, I did Betty White because that's exactly how she's described.
Yes.
And then for George, I did Harrison Ford.
Good.
Yeah, because I feel like he'd be like the calm, like,
Very quiet.
yeah, sure, we're gonna let you out.
Would be able to show that, like, he doesn't like that he's doing this, but he's accepted that he has to for
Yes,
his daughter.
exactly. Yeah.
Good choices. I really liked your fan cast. That was good.
Minus Eddie. Which
Yeah,
you
that's okay.
haven't seen
You know
what
what?
I've seen.
Yep.
You don't
that's
get it.
And that's the first time we've done how many episodes? And that's the first time. that
Yeah,
I've been
fair.
like, oh, 100%. Like, yes.
Yeah, fair. All right, final thoughts.
Star rating. Did we already do that?
We did that at the
Oh,
beginning.
okay. Just kidding. Me. So should we start with the star rating?
You did 5 stars.
Okay, yeah. Surprise, surprise. I wanted to say it again. I did 5 stars. It's great. Final thoughts. Yeah, that. I was not expecting half of what was in
No.
that book, so
Good job.
yeah.
Good job. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked, because we were, in all fairness, we were looking for something kind of niche.
Yeah.
When we were looking for a Christmas book, we wanted it to be thriller. We wanted it to be like, what we really wanted was like a newly spouse or a fiance who's
Yes.
going to like,
See the other side of the family.
yeah, and then
stay
like
for the
they're
holidays.
crazy.
That would have been great.
So it wasn't exactly that, but it, once we read it, we're like,
give it to us.
yep, I'll take that.
Yep.
So
So yeah, if you want something that's a lot of bit different and
it's not very long either.
distraction, no.
It's like 200 something pages.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
not a lot of
200.
pages.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So
I guess maybe 8 out of 10 because I gave it 4 stars.
10 out of 10 over here.
Alrighty, that'll
So-
be it from us.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you in the new year.
Yeah.
Like,
Share,
subscribe,
comment,
follow.
all the things. Oh, you did it.
Bye!
Bye.